On behalf of ADI Hyderabad, we welcome you to Design Stories, a series of webinars and live events aimed at discovering a successful designer and engaging with them to discuss their bittersweet journeys towards being called successful. ADI is a network representing the professional interests of the Indian design community, creating a meaningful interface between design professionals, people as users, the industry, educational institutions, students, and policymakers. My name is Akhil Karanam. I'm the head of industry outreach at ADI Hyderabad and your host for today. Our theme for today is anti-aging secrets on the highway. While the theme may sound eccentric, it is more than just a catchy title for a webinar. Our guest for today is Subbu Peteti, fondly known as Subbu, an anchor turned writer for television, film, and creative agencies worldwide. Subbu has worked in the capacity of a writer, director, creative producer, host, and a producer for the likes of HMTV, Z Network, iDream Media, ETV, and NTV. Most notably, conceptualizing and producing some amazing local and international travel shows that explore food, culture, festivals, and the lifestyle of the people of the land, as well as the Indians settled there. One such show, named K2K, that stands for Kanyakumari to Kashmir, was the travelogue of Subbu and his cameraman friend attempting to travel the length of India without spending a single rupee. Us on the Highway, short for Anti-Aging Secrets on the Highway, is a book written by Subbu that encapsulates and recounts this crazy experience of traveling the perimeter of a wonderfully diverse and lively country with the currency of culture, brotherhood, and harmony attached to it, leaving alone the conventional form of currency that we all know as money. By the way, Subbu moved to Gloucestershire, England last year with his twin daughters and his wife to pursue an MA in filmmaking at the University of Gloucestershire. To satiate his sense of adventure, Corona took over the world, challenging him to finish his degree in 2021 from home, just as adventurously as Subbu would have liked it, I hope. So, welcome to the show, Subbu.
Hey, thank you so much, Akhil. You did so much of a writing. Who wrote that? Did you write it?
Of course I did.
Wonderful, man. You should start applying for there's so much writing work happening here in the UK. You should become a writer. Amazing.
No, I'm in the process of finishing my first screenplay, actually.
Are you? What
Yeah.
are you writing? Are you writing for TV, film? What?
This is a Telugu film that I'm writing for at the moment.
Oh boy.
And there's another web series and another feature film project that I plan to finish by the end of this year, even start pitching. So yeah, that's what's been going on.
Yeah, wonderful. Just keep me posted, and I'll talk about this off the record. I mean, I think there are about 10 of us right now. Hey guys, I'm Subbu, and then that's one of the best introduction that anybody can give for me, and I'm so flattered. And I just need to adjust my hair for that. Yeah. Thank you, Akhil. And I'm a very strict guy, guys. So I have some very strict rules. Rule number one: do you guys have pens and papers? Because I can't see you. Yeah, I can see some heads nod. If you have pens and papers, please throw them away. You'll not need them for the rest of the talk. I'll do the talking. Just sit back and enjoy. Rule number two: please do not be nice to me, and please ask me questions, very radical and disturbing questions, because if you be nice to me and then just sit back and then anyways I can't see you, so if you're just watching the movie, I'll download a whole lot of shit onto you and then you'll just go back home with nothing of value. So I have some crazy experiences in life. Ask me dirty questions. I'm willing to take them up. So because only when you ask stupid questions you get crazy answers. Give me shitty questions, you'll get shitty answers. Give me crazy questions, you'll get crazy answers. I have such lovely experiences, I should say, and I have very limited slides, just 3 slides. And as Akhil introduced me, I'm going to teach you how to get young, as in AAS here means anti-aging secrets. By the end of this talk, you're going to get young, so might as well get back into your old clothes, all colorful clothes. Okay. At any point of the time you have some questions, if you feel like switching the camera on, wonderful. Otherwise you can just ask a question, because I'm not following the hand raising and stuff while I'm looking at the camera. So just switch your microphone on and shoot out the question, because even if it's a bad question, please ask, because if you ask anything crazy, a bad question might also lead to a good answer. I mean, somebody will ask a better question. So don't worry about the question, whether it's good or bad. I'm not going to judge you. So please shoot out and ask question. So here we go. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, I see myself. Can you guys see this?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, this is the book. I'm just selling my book, guys. You don't have to buy it. It's the name is Ass on the Highway. I just named it because it has to be cheeky. No, it's not about being cheeky. I mean, some people say it like, I mean, you might think in the wrong sense, but it's actually Ass here stands for anti-aging secrets, and in Hindi, Ass means hope, right? So that's the reason behind naming it Ass on the Highway. And this book has so many secrets which all of you know, but we don't practice. So just to start with, I'm giving you only 3 secrets for the day, and the rest will be in the book. Secret number 1. Ta-da-ta-da. There you go. True lies, guys. When I say true lies, what I mean is you should really lie a lot in life. You heard me right. Lying a lot in life is required, and I'll try and explain how it is. And if you have any questions, please shoot out, guys. I have to explain this picture. We were in Madurai, and we were traveling in a bus which is on a pilgrimage to Sabarimala, which you all know, which goes to Sabarimala with all these Ayyappa Swami devotees. So we got a lift from them, and then there was no seat to sit. Obviously, we are freeloaders, so they gave us the aisle to sit in. So I was sitting in the aisle, as you can see, and then my camera person, his name is Mohan, and he was filming me. And if you carefully see what's in my hand, you see these snacks, the South Indian snacks called murukulu, if you have heard of it. Yeah. So murukulu is this very small snack in South India, and then that is what I was eating at that time. So what the reason I'm bringing up this is, when I say lie a lot in life, I mean it is lying to yourself. And when you're lying to yourself, I don't mean that you're cheating yourself. I'm trying to tell the brain what to do. So the brain is such a wonderful thing, and it's so powerful, it's so smart, it can store all the information in the entire world, all the libraries information it can store in the world, in this brain. But at the same time, it's an idiot. Why I call the brain as an idiot is, I'll just give you an example. Now, I'm sure some of you, we have people who like to grow nails. Yeah, yeah. Let's do a small experiment here. Yeah, I'm assuming that you're imagining this. Imagine that you have very long nails, okay? And then there's a very rough and coarse cement wall without paint. It's very, very rough. And it's got all those small spokes of cement, and which is not painted, which is not softened. So now imagine these long nails, this long nails, and a very rough wall, and you're scratching on it. You get the feeling, right? When you scratch the wall, I'm sure you have a very irky feeling, right? I do understand I cannot see you guys, but I know the feeling that you guys go through when you scratch a wall with very long nails. So now what am I trying to say here is, the nails are not true, they're imaginary. The wall is not true, it is imaginary. And the scratching is not true, it's imaginary. But the feeling that comes from the bottom of your navel is true. What does it simply say? It simply says that the brain reacts equally to the real event and an imaginary event. So it does not know how to differentiate between both the real event and the imaginary event. So if you know how to create a situation of, even if you imagine it rightly, tell yourself the lie, hey, this is what is happening in my life, I need to behave like this, the brain will take it and it will respond accordingly. So I'll give you an example of, it happened recently to me. I simply play with my brain. I tell myself, no, this is not correct, this is correct. I mean, if you actually observe in life, the feeling of sadness or happiness, it's all comparison. I mean, you compare with the one light to another light. For example, you're out in the cold, you, you don't have a, I mean, for us it's like, what's the temperature now? It's like 3 3 degrees. How much is it in Hyderabad now,
Uh,
Akhil?
Around 35, 37, depends.
Lucky you, rascals. Oh, we're really freezing out here. It's 3 now. So if I go to the city center without my gloves and without my coat, obviously I'll start freezing. So the brain, why do you start feeling bad is because you start comparing yourself when you're in the room to when you're out there without proper warm clothes. What if we just play with the brain and say, hey, at this moment there's somebody on the Himalayas trying to climb the Himalayas, and they're so cold they're literally cutting the fingers off. I have seen, when I did the Everest base camp, I have seen literally people's fingers being cut because they've had those frosts. So if you can play your brain with compare, yes, you compare it, but compare with a better or a worse situation so that you feel good. So that's what I tell myself. I mean, if you have, when your emotion is coming from comparison, why don't you compare it with something that will make you feel better? That is what I mean by saying true lies. Tell yourself a lot of lies. I'll give you another crazy example. I was coming to UK, and at this age, I'm just 42 years young, guys. At this age, I'm started studying, and then I wanted to make it big in the television and film industry in the UK. So I'm here. But my cousin tells me, hey, it's a student life, and the student life, they kind of say stay in a small little houses, and then each house has got about 3 to 4 rooms. There'll be like 10 students. It's going to be a lot of drugs, drink, sex, and all this nonsense. um, you're going to have a tough time. I really don't know. I simply told him, just for the heck of it, I told him, no, I will not stay in such a house. I will get the best of houses, and I'm going to have a luxury life. Just wait and see. He was just laughing away to kingdom come. Then what happened? I went online, I applied for a lot of houses, and then I got a couple of replies, and then I went for viewing. When I say viewing, we just go to the house, and then the landlady comes and they show the house. I've seen 4. I did not like 3. There's one which I really liked, and the rent was very a little on the higher. It was like 80 pounds per week. Excuse me. And then the landlady said, "You're getting a very good deal." I said online it is only 80 pounds per week, but I'm giving it to you for 90. You got a great deal. I said, what the hell? I mean, it is supposed to be 80 pounds per week. Now you're giving it to me for 90 pounds and you're saying it's a great deal. What kind of a deal is this? But then she took out a document from her bag and she gives me contract at 90 pounds. You get the whole house. It's 4 rooms, 2 bathrooms, a lawn, a garage, everything at 90 pounds. I will not give this house to any other students because I'm not after money. And you keep the whole house. I wish I could show you guys. I really mean it. I'm sitting in that house in the currently, just showing you around. I mean, I'm in the living room. This is my living room, and that's the lawn. If you can see, so many other houses are out there. So my cousin was sitting right there, and he got a shock of his life. I mean, why does she do that? I mean, why did that happen to you? I said, I really don't know. Even when I told you that I'm going to get a great house in UK, I do not know what's going to happen in the future, but I just made that lie up. I just made that lie up. Then I realized the universe has got something in it that if you create a thought so powerfully, it will come true. The same thing happened to us in those 40 days of traveling across India without money. We really did not know where the food was coming from. I mean, the first 1 week was very difficult because the mind was only thinking of hey, when we are having breakfast, we think of lunch. When we are having lunch, we think of breakfast. So it's always that chatter of the brain saying that, hey, what is going to happen next? What's going to happen next? That's when after 1 week, I realized that, guys, whatever is happening because of some reason. let's forget that and then just concentrate on this, the breakfast that we got now. If you actually look at this trip, it's a pure parallel for life. We are always on the, I mean, when you get the job, you always wanted a job, you get the job and you're not happy. You wanted that particular raise, or you want that particular car, or that particular something. It's always your happiness is postponed to the next level. Just, I mean, there's another example that I happened recently is we make films every semester and then we do not have funds to make, because it's a student film, you have to put your own fund. I mean, there'll be nobody producing the film. So students kind of make the film in 200 pounds, 300 pounds and stuff like that. I mean, I go crazy. I say, let's make a film with horses. Then the faculty, my professor said, boy, do you know how much money does it take to just bring one horse into the location? I mean, for the cost for the horse is like 500 pounds per horse. The horse van, 500 pounds. The trainer, another 500 pounds. Just to get one horse to the location, it takes like 2,000 pounds. I said, no, I'll get it done. So I went to a horse riding club, spoke to the lady there, told them my story, and then I went to a couple of hacks. There's in horse riding. I'm a rider, and then I became their very good friend. And the daughter of that a lady by name Jill Carranza, she has a daughter, and she is starting some business to do with textiles in China. And I said, hey, please don't. If you really want to start a manufacturing unit, why don't you try it in India? I'm just being selfish here. I said, India has got great places where you can set up the manufacturing unit. Why don't you talk to somebody in ADI? So here we are. I gave a link in ADI. From ADI, she got a contact in India saying that they'll make the textiles in India. And when I gave her a favor, she wanted to do something to me. She said, use all the horses. I got bloody 50 horses for the film. And we are shooting there, and we've just finished filming there. And I just want to show you that, if you can see it. Akhil, can you see it?
Of course, of course, of course.
Yeah, that's where we have filmed, and then we are just editing it right now. And crazy things, guys, crazy things. Just tell your brain that whatever you want, that will happen. But when you tell it, you have to tell it with conviction. I mean, you have to fool yourself with conviction. The nature, the universe will listen to it. And I mean, these are things that happened in the past. Now, I'm going to make a statement what I'm going to do in the future. I'm going to make the next film in the semester, for this semester, which is the third semester, in air. Trust me, it's going to be in air. When I say air, it's going to be an aeroplane. And if you already check my WhatsApp DP, I'm already in the plane. I was in the plane 2 days ago in a small craft, and I don't have the money yet. I do not know how much it will cost, but I'll get it done. And I will prove it to you in just another 3 months' time. Watch my third film, which is going to be in air. Guys, I have become so ruthless and shameless. I create whatever I want. I mean, if I can do it, a normal guy from Kaldindi, a small village in Andhra Pradesh, you can do it as well. So moving on to the next secret. I hope the first secret made you young. This will make you younger. Okay, just to tell this story. Any questions, guys? Please shoot. If you don't believe what I'm saying, please attack me.
Participants can please share their questions in the chat window so that I'll be able to put them through to Subbu.
Akhil, I'm not reading the chat because I'm busy. I'm shameless.
I'll read them out to you if someone has any question to ask.
Okay, good. If there's nothing, I can move on.
I was reminded of this old Japanese proverb from what you were saying, which says, "Do not speak bad of yourself, for the warrior within hears your words and is lessened by them."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's so very true. I have so many examples to give as to. Yeah, let me finish this. I have a great story here.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, this man by name, I have to see the video to get his name back, but this happened in Goa, and we were literally on the road asking for a lift. Mm-hmm. And I was in a very good mood that day. And I said, hey, I mean, today we asked for a lift. We are getting the lift in like 2 or 3 attempts. This is a wonderful day. Let's start. Let's count how many lifts we will. I mean, how many attempts we will get the lift in. Then I started asking for the lift. I started counting. It's 1, 2, 3, 17, 18, 19, 20. No lift. Then slowly we started getting tired. It's Goa and it's hot and it's sultry, and we did not eat for almost 18-20 hours. I mean, the previous day we didn't have anything to eat, and my cameraman was very angry. And when you're, I mean, he's hungry and angry. When you're hungry and angry, you know how it is. Like, he was literally swearing at me. I mean, I beg your pardon. He was holding the camera and saying, "Yamma," all the swear words in Telugu that you know. He was swearing at me and rolling the camera. I have to react to the emotion that is supposed to be on TV, which means, hey, we are struggling to get a lift here. That's my expression, right? So I have to show the audience that I'm struggling to get a lift. Yes, I was really struggling. But on the other side, my bloody cameraman is swearing at me, my mom, my dad, everyone. So do I show the anger to the camera, or do I show the frustration that I'm not getting a lift? So it's a confused emotion that I was in. And finally, after 3 hours and 186 rejections, I got this man who comes and says, "Hey, I've been observing you for almost 3 hours now, and you guys are trying to get a lift. I can give you a lift." And he takes us on this scooter to the nearest bus stop, and he buys us each ticket is 19 rupees, I think. And at that time, 19, we were 3 people, right? 19 threes. How much is 19 threes, guys? Okay. Here in UK, they don't count. We use calculator. Okay, whatever 19 threes is, he paid that for us and put us on the bus that day. So what I'm trying to say here is shameless. When I say shameless, it simply means being ready to fail a million times, guys. The reason I'm here today in the UK is not because I have a lot of money. I literally came here with a student loan, and then I'm still struggling to find a part-time job during COVID. You won't believe. I have worked in craziest places in the UK. You will not believe. I mean, for an Indian, these are all big ego kind of things, right? So we don't work in a warehouse. I worked in a warehouse. I'm very proud to say that. I literally lifted, what do you call, this wine bottles, boxes of wine bottles, and I've mopped floors, washed bathrooms. I've done all that. I don't care, because I know my goal. So what I'm trying to say is, we come with so much pampering of your ego. Okay, I'm from this kind of a family, or I do not make mistakes. I don't want to make a fool of myself. I don't want to try new things. Boy, that'll get you nowhere. What I'm trying to say here is, even the companies like Netflix, Amazon, and there's another company today have realized that their company performance is increasing only if you allow your employees to make mistakes. And it takes balls to make mistakes, guys. I'm telling you, it takes real guts to make mistakes. And if you have a boss who says, "Hey guy, go ahead and make mistakes, I don't care, that's how you learn." And to be very honest, all the learning comes from the n number of mistakes that you make shamelessly in this world. There's no other way. If there's a shortcut, I would have followed that. But you have to make those mistakes. But here there's a catch. You might ask, because you're not asking, I'll ask. Uh, what is the point in, I mean, you're saying fail so many times, make mistakes. So what is the point in failing 10th class 10 times? See, here the logic is simple. Make a new mistake. I mean, don't make the same old mistake again and again. And if you're failing in 10th class, of course, KCR has anyways given you all pass marks in all the subjects. So that's another story. So what I'm saying is, if you're failing in the same subject a number of times, you really don't know how to pass, or you don't know how to copy. Guys, I'm not advising you to copy, but then there will be definite ways if you make the right mistakes. So guys, the second secret in life is to reduce your age. Please be shameless to make mistakes, and go ahead and make a number of mistakes. Your life will become, I mean, your age will come down half the way, because I'll tell you the final logic why I say shameless at the end of the presentation. So any questions here, guys? Anybody want to disagree with me? Please do not agree with me, because I love talking and I will download a whole lot of shit onto you, and then you will end up with a smelly talk. So any contradictions or nobody agrees with me, I can give you examples.
I don't think
Do you have any questions?
anybody here is here to contest you.
Yeah, is there somebody?
They agree with you. They all agree with you. Yeah.
Everybody agrees. Oh, nice people. These guys are all being nice to me. Let me fix myself a small peg of vodka. Cheers, guys. Okay. Moving on to the third secret, guys. Yeah. We all like news, right? Do we, Akhil? You're my voice for the entire crowd.
I binge on news.
Yeah, you binge on news. Okay. So, okay. What I'm trying to say here is, Akhil, do you, in your childhood, do you remember we used to have the film, earlier film used to come in the film actual roll?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we in theaters or in on the ground, we used to find small pieces of the roll film.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then we used to make a box out of it. There's a cardboard box we used to make. Yeah, the millennials who are born, I mean, before the digital era, I mean, they wouldn't know it maybe, but then those days we used to make a box and then make a small hole, put the frame in front of the box, and then we used to have a bulb, and then put a lens, and then there used to be a torch or a bulb, and then there's this lens which will magnify the image, and we used to project that on the screen, right, Akhil?
Yeah. A pinhole camera.
Yeah. So now I'm just drawing a parallel here, guys. Just imagine the frame that you have, any frame that you like. For example, Akhil, what do you like? What film do you like? Any international, even Indian, it's okay.
Swadesh to start with, maybe.
Okay. Swadesh, let's say Swadesh is, we have Shah Rukh Khan. You found that Shah Rukh Khan frame on the road. You put it in this slide. You put a bulb. Let's say the bulb name is bulb B, the condenser is C, the projector is P, and the lens is L, and the screen is S. Okay. On day one, you put the slide of Shah Rukh Khan, and you projected it with B, C, P, and image, and you got the image on the screen. What do you see on screen, Akhil?
A flower, an image of Shah Rukh Khan. If
yeah, you've seen the image of Shah Rukh Khan, right? Okay. After 3 days, you put the same bulb B and C and same image and same projector, and what do you see on screen?
the same thing.
Same thing. Okay. After 3 weeks, you did the same bulb, same condenser, same slide, and same projector lens. What do you see on screen?
A slightly washed out image, maybe.
Okay, let's assume that it's not getting spoiled. Okay, so you'll still see Shah Rukh Khan on the screen, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is here, this is exactly a parallel for our life, guys. We do the same things that we have been doing for the last 10 years in the similar way, like the bulb, the condenser, the frame, and then the projector. But we want a bloody 3D IMAX Shah Rukh Khan on the screen. How will that happen? It will not happen. So what I'm trying to say is, you have to be doing new things in life if you want bloody new outcomes. I mean, if the inputs change, only then the output will change. I mean, if I want to make my third semester film on a plane, I cannot be researching online and or learning a lot about how to do a film and all this stuff. I have to go out. Okay, now is not the time to go out when I mean the COVID restrictions. When I mean go out, need not be just going out and meeting people. Go online and then meet those people that will make your idea successful, is what I meant. So the way you get up, the way you exercise, the way you dress, the way you drink coffee, the way you meet people online, or I mean the way you read books, if you do not change the inputs, the output will not change. So our brain is a product of that's why I have put the S in the word news. I have separated the word S because most of us watch. Akhil, how much time do you say you watch news?
Um, it's relatively lesser than how much I read news.
Okay, yeah, but when you say you watch news, do you watch, what do you watch for television?
If I watch news, if you're talking about news, I think I like to generally keep it balanced. Say a few left wing news channels, news media outlets, a few right ones, a few neutral ones, to get an overall perspective and a balanced perspective as to what actually is happening there in the real world out there.
Okay, okay, good. Yeah. So this is my opinion, guys. You don't have to follow it. You don't have to believe it. But because I come from a news background, I worked almost 15 years in the television industry as a presenter, writer, director. But I haven't, I mean, I was with the news channels, but I was not in the editorial. But I know how a news is made. So please do not quote me. Uh, this is during the Telangana movement way back in, I think it's 2013 or 12. This is an example, okay? I cannot name names, but every time there's an agitation in OU, our cameramen, see, for a news to happen, there has to be a presenter, there has to be a director, there has to be a camera person, there has to be an audio guy. There's like 4 to 5 people have to book the cameras, and they have to before they go to the story, they know what kind of a story it is, right? So the presenter will also choose. So what we think that everything that comes on news is all I mean, it's not scripted. I mean, tell me something. If the presenter is choosing between, okay, the story now is about COVID, we have to go for shooting now, and the presenter is choosing between, okay, do I wear a black color dress or do I wear a pink color dress? Is he or she making a decision there, Akhil?
Of course, of course, of course.
Yeah. So is there some scripting happening there? I'm not asking you for answers. I'm just putting questions in your head. Okay. Now they go there, and then I'm going back to my Telangana movement story. And then they're supposed to burn Dishtibomalu, right? You know what is Dishtiboma is effigies of some political leaders. They burn it and then they shout the slogans and hey, Jai Telangana and all this stuff. Yeah. See, I have complete respect for the movement, but the way the media projected it is my problem. So what happened? I know the story because I was in one of the news channels at that time, and these guys, the people who were doing the dharna, the agitation in the university, kind of started it early, and then they burnt the effigies, and then a couple of news cameras arrived late, and then I mean the people doing the agitation and the camera persons, everybody, they're Telangana, Andhra, they're everything. I mean, like, Bhaiya, I mean, we've burned the effigies. Now, what do we do? You guys came late. Okay, let's. These camera guys say, okay, let's get more effigies, and these guys says, okay, let's burn it again. Okay, ready, action. We burn them again. There's some guy who's selling the effigies and say, Bhaiya, inkonni kavala. Do you need more? I'll make more effigies. So much drama happening just to project to the people that there's so much unrest, so much this thing happening. Yeah, I do agree that there was a lot of discrimination by the Andhra side with regard to Telangana. I do agree, because otherwise since 1953 there would not have been agitations, and there is a reason. But how media projects it is a different topic to discuss, and we can discuss it till cows come home. So what I'm trying to say here is, everything that you see on the news may be true, may not be true, but it's going to affect your mind, right? So you see non-stop, you continuously see so much deaths happening, so many people dying, there's no oxygen, there's no there's the government is bad, she is bad, he is good. So much negative news that you see on a daily basis. We have only 24 hours, out of which most of the time is gone for our ablations, our sleep, and our work. We have about 2 to 3 hours, which is quality time. That quality time that you spend with ourselves, those 66,000 thoughts that we get, is a result of what we are consuming on a daily basis. So it is up to you guys. You want to consume shit, shit, and then you expect that you want great outcomes to come from your brain or your life. That's up to you. So when you have a choice, consume. It can be food, or it could be news, or it could be anything that you consume. Consume quality stuff. I mean, when I say quality stuff, you go on Google, you will get the algorithm. I mean, what does the algorithm show? If you say, just go on to Google, search images and say idiot, whose picture will come? Is that true, guys? Come on. Isn't that bloody algorithm putting that gentleman's picture on top? Akhil, you know whose picture will come, right?
Of course.
Okay. So isn't that money put in that algorithm area to show somebody is an idiot? So, I mean, at least if you go on to Google, at least if you know that there's an app called Google Scholar, and when you go on to Google Scholar, you will only read articles that are being peer reviewed. When I say peer reviewed, these are all proper people who are academicians, who know the subject, who know about corona, who know about vaccine, who knows about politics, who knows about economics. They're the ones who write those articles. Nah, we don't want that, because there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of I just want something that is easy, like junk food. It's easy and tasty. It goes in. Organic vegan food is difficult and it's expensive, guys. So we don't consume quality food or quality news. We just consume anything. So, my dear friends, if you want to cut down your age, reduce the news and increase the new in your life. Do crazy things in life. It might come out crazy, but it's okay. But you will start thinking new, and then it's very difficult to get away from the news. At least you cannot do it overnight. Just reduce the number of hours, reduce the number of sessions, because they're going to show you the same thing. I mean, what do you mean? You think the whole world is in suffering? Akhil, if I may ask you a question, is only I'm asking Akhil because I can see and hear only him.
Yes, yes,
I think he is representing all of us. Keep a track of the time as well, right?
yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. And if I ask you, Akhil, is only Hyderabad suffering from COVID, or something else is happening?
The channels are just, I mean, media outlets are just catering to confirmation bias of people. They just want to show people what they want to believe. What
Yeah,
they already believe and
yeah,
what they believe.
agree. My question. I mean, let's forget the news. I'm just asking you a personal question. Do you think only Hyderabad is suffering from COVID, or entire India is suffering from COVID? Or
Everyone, of course. I mean,
okay, is it only India suffering from COVID, or is it the whole world suffering from COVID?
the whole world suffering from COVID.
Do you agree?
I do.
Yeah, and I'm 100% sure all the other participants also agree, right? Okay. Now another question. If there's a class of 100 people, okay, and there's only one person suffering from stomachache, do we call the whole class is suffering from stomachache?
Just the one person.
One person, right? So this is the bloody problem with us. When I say us, I'm including myself, because I am also stupid and cheap. I asked a simple question: is only India suffering, or the whole world is suffering? Okay. And we said we all believe when we say that the whole world is suffering from COVID, right? Come on, guys. Let's see the fact of it. This is what we human beings are. We think we are the bloody center of the universe. When I say world, there are 8 billion species out there in this world, including insects, snakes, dogs, whales, fish, everything on this earth is part of this world, right? Why do we think that only humans are part of it? Because that question is asked about the world, so it's human beings, so we are the only ones suffering. Only human beings is suffering from COVID, guys. Only human beings. There's 7,999,999, whatever the heck number of nines is, they're not suffering. They're just happy. This is the best time for them. So it's in our face, damn it. It's in our face. It's saying that we have done something to this earth and we are facing it. I really don't know how long this will last, but we have to, is this not shaking enough, guys? Is this not shaking enough? Say, guys, there's something wrong in the way we think, the way we eat, the way everything. That's the reason. They don't tell you the real story in news, is because diabetics, they say that comes from sugar. Come on, where does diabetics really come from? I mean, the way you drink, the way you, I mean, there's so much alcohol out in the Western world. I mean, they will not say that you just go to a departmental stores. At least in India, it's far better because all the liquor is in a liquor shop. But here, you go to any departmental stores, you get like hundreds and hundreds of varieties of beer, wine, whiskey, rum, whatever you get it. The millennials don't even know that once upon a time the liquor was sold in separate shops. They think it's common. I mean, we just go pick a bottle, drink, and then the actual governments or the news do not say that drinking alcohol is bad, eating too much meat is bad, because if they make a news like that, governments will topple down. Like within a week, you'll see governments fall down. So don't we see that, guys? I mean, is COVID not a reason enough for us to start thinking? What I'm trying to tell here is, we have been in this rush of trying to save the world. Let's do this the campaign. Let's go and donate. Let's save the whales. Oh, come on, forget I mean, trying to fix the world. Fix yourself. Let us fix ourselves. I mean, stop looking for answers. Start looking for questions. What are the questions that you need to ask? Simple questions. Why do I need a deodorant? Why don't vegans use deodorants? Why don't their bathrooms don't stink? Our bathrooms stink. Ask questions. I mean, why do I use this toothpaste? Why is this a red symbol on this toothpaste? We need to ask. I mean, I'm 100% sure there's very young participants in this talk. I can't see them or hear them. We, yesteryear generation, I'm 42 now. In my young age or in my teenage, we have screwed it up so bad that we did not ask the right questions, because sorry guys, because we did not ask the right questions, we gave you this shitty world. Apologies for that. Just a second. So I think it's high time that you guys stop looking for solutions and started asking questions. Ask questions. Ask any crazy questions. I mean, why should I drive a car? Why should I buy this t-shirt which is so expensive? Why do I need this phone which is so expensive? I mean, simple questions. I mean, my questions are too very big, but ask small questions in your life. Any questions, guys, before I get emotional and start crying? Okay.
One thing that I'd like to add here is that for us to start doing what you're suggesting here, I think the very first step would be for us as a species to not stop being so anthropocentric, meaning stop assuming that the entire world revolves around the species of this singular species of human beings. The moment we start looking at the world from that point of view, I think we'll stop being so selfish and probably start looking outwards. So
yeah, I mean, the reason
yeah.
Sorry, the reason I bring up this news a lot is because what we are consuming, because 66,000 thoughts per day and 95% of the thoughts are the same. And most of them are the result of things that you see on TV, in films, or in the news, mostly the news. And they are just recycled every day. And then you have one small happiness from some achievement that you were, hey, I did this, and hey, I got this, and you're back again in your own cycle. If you're not being influenced by all this junk consumption that we are doing, what happens is the mind starts looking for real thoughts. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a great guy. I'm just saying that I'm trying to be, I'm at least 1 or 2% in that direction. The reason I can give you an example is, I am an international student here in this University of Gloucestershire. And then I have observed this university and so many other universities have a lot of Indian students and Pakistani students and a lot of Bangladeshi students, South Asia, because South Asian students are out to come to other Western countries and they want to study, and obviously they want to make a lot of money. But the point I'm trying to make here is that we Indians and Pakistan, what comes to your mind when we have an IPL match or when we have some international match? Akhil?
Get together and probably sit down and watch it.
Yeah, India, Pakistan, how does the media show it to you? And they show you
advertisement in such a way that these are arch rivals. I mean, they just remind you all the wars that we fought, all the army people that we lost. They don't do it directly, but then they narrate the story in such a way that we are arch rivals. I mean, this match is so important. Bloody, they just want eyeballs for that cricket match, and they play with their emotions. But honestly, trust me, I'm telling it. I'm telling this because I'm the international experience officer in this university. All the Bangladeshis, Pakistans that I meet, the first thing we do, I mean, because of COVID, we are not able to shake hands or hug. The first thing that we do here is we hug each other because we have this community feeling. I mean, one point of a time we were together, damn it, the politics played us and they just drew lines between you and me. I mean, so where are we? I mean, where is the news taking us? So what I'm trying to say is, if you consume too much of junk, you will only recycle junk in your mind. So start looking for new thoughts, new experiences, new friends, new things. You will come out with crazy ideas. What the recent thing that I am doing in the university is, I've seen every time I go to the university or library, I take my lunchbox, and then usually we South Indians, and of course a lot of North Indians as well, eat with hand. Do you eat with hand, Akhil?
Of course, of course.
Yeah. So, but here in the Western world, we are all after spoons, forks, and cutlery, and we don't touch the food with the hand. Oh, it's such a low thing to do. I could not be that. I just sat in the library and I said, I will eat with my hand. What the heck? And I ate with my hand. It was so very disturbing because how much ever I talk, there is this feeling that, oh, everybody is looking at me, and this low feeling, you have that, right? So I've started this campaign in my university saying, eat with hand. And that thought, I did not have the research to back it up. So I started Googling in Google Scholar, what are the articles, who has written articles, who has written papers, white papers or peer-reviewed papers about eating with hand. I came to know some wonderful things about what are the advantages of eating with hand. They say that each finger is one is the earth, one is the sky, one is the fire. I mean, all the 5 elements. And the fingertips have what is called the natural flora, which is algae, which when the fingers touch the food, it depending on the temperature of the food and the texture of the food, it sends a signal to the brain saying that this food needs that kind of enzyme to digest it. Come on, what kind of science do we need? I mean, do we need everything has to go under the lens of a science? Science is very just, I mean, I think it's just hardly 3,000 to 5,000 years. Our Vedas have been since millennia. I mean, the spiritual gurus or rishis, or even, I mean, it could be any religion. It could be prophets. It could be the Christ, any religion or anything. I mean, this is agnostic. I mean, not subject to any religion. There is so much which is already in the nature. And another example I would give is, in India, the mothers carry the baby on our on whatever you call it. We hug them, we carry them on the body, right? Because of that carrying, there's a lot of vibes going from the mother and child. That's how a child grows better. But on the other side, I'm not blaming the Western world for this. We kind of depend on prams. The minute you're putting the baby in the pram, you're distancing all those vibes and you're losing the contact and the connect with the kid. Somebody somewhere is selling us forks and spoons, guys. Very recently, they're selling us tissue papers. They're selling us prams now. They're selling us whatnot. They'll sell you so much because they have some great marketing collateral, just some great design and some great videos change your nature. So be very conscious about what you consume, guys. That's the reason I ask you youngsters, ask questions. Don't look for solutions already. We have screwed up the earth so much, so big. It'll take time. The corona, if not corona, some other Karina will come in tomorrow if we don't change the way we look at how we treat the world. Okay, too much of a lecture, is it?
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions, guys? I think I'm almost there. 8 minutes.
Yes. Participants, request you to send in your questions in the chat window if you have any.
Is anyone willing to put the camera on? I just like to see if there's anyone.
The admin hasn't given those privileges to the
No problem.
participants, so yeah.
No, they can.
It's okay, guys, if you don't want to put your camera on. If you have any question, just put the microphone on and then shoot out. Akhil, do you have any question?
This is actually a topic that we would have to discuss at length, because I I understand where you're coming from, and yeah.
And it's not easy. It's not easy, and it's not overnight. Okay, these are things that, see. I mean, did we spoil the earth in one go? No, we have been doing it for thousands of years, and today is just the result, right?
Mm.
So if we want a positive result, we have to be doing it on every day. I mean,
Absolutely.
On a daily basis, and it's long term. You will not get results immediately. I don't know how long, but we have to start. If you're not starting now, when will we start?
Mm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are we getting the question in the chat window?
No, I thought she was trying to put the camera on and ask a question, but it's okay if she does not have.
Okay. So there was one thing that I wanted to ask you about travel, or K2K travel. So I follow this American blogger called Drew Binsky. I'm sure you know of him.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's one of the very few people in the entire world who's traveled almost 194 countries so far.
Okay.
And he has 6 more countries left to finish traveling the entire set of it. And in one of his recent vlogs, he said he went back to LA. His home is in LA, and when he went back to LA, he made a vlog, and one of the statements that he made there was, he said, I'm unable to place myself in the city. I've lost this sense of belonging, because I've been traveling for so long, and I've been away from home for so long. I've been traveling continuously. I don't have a sense of belonging. I wanted to ask you, you've been traveling a lot, quite a lot. I mean, for work, for pleasure, for your profession, for all the travelogues that you've been doing. Have you ever had that kind of a sense in you when you came back home and you didn't feel like you belonged there, or you did not know where you actually belong to because you don't know?
That's a wonderful question, I should say, because these 40 days that we traveled, the food that we ate came from absolute strangers, and it came when we were very, very hungry. Okay, and the sleep that we slept in those 40 days came when we were really tired and we were wanted to sleep. And even the travel, everything that happened to us was so very pure in the sense, I wish I could explain how I felt and how the food tasted and how the sleep was during those 40 days. Now I'm in the best of the country, best of the house, and best of the equipment, the appliances. All this do not give me the joy. I want to go back to those 40 days, because when I was eating, I was only eating, 100% consciously eating. When I was sleeping, if you just go to all my videos, they're all on YouTube. I'll share. I mean, I think if you just search, you'll find them. If you just say new go K2K, new go means new go.
I watched quite a few. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I just changed the Telugu word YouTube to Telugu. YouTube, Nuvu Gottam. So I made it new go the channel. See, what I'm trying to say here is, we were getting food from everywhere, and the food was so tasty, and we were literally in the moment of eating the food. When it comes from somebody, you are 100%, all your senses are on the food. When you're eating food, you enjoy it so much, you don't know what's happening around you. We were sitting in railway stations, on the roadside, we were in forest, everywhere that we are eating, nothing happened to us. I mean, before the start of the documentary, I gathered, like, say, one packet of allopathy, one packet of homeopathy and Ayurveda, it's like almost 1.5 kilo of medicines. Assuming that, oh, we will be drinking water from government taps, we'll be eating somewhere, we'll be sleeping somewhere, mosquitoes, this, that. Okay, let's be very careful and use this on a safety. Trust me, in these 40 days, not even a common cold, no fever, nothing. Because the brain is fully focused on, damn it, get me some food, any food, I don't mind, even if it's rotten, even if it's unhygienic, I don't care. And that kind of food we ate, nothing happened to us, because the brain is not in the state of, okay, am I eating right or am I eating wrong, or is it from an organic store, or is it from a very posh departmental stores? Screw it, it doesn't think of all that. So we just threw away all the medicines in a dustbin. And the I mean, if you could survive that, we can survive anything. If you won't believe, the blood immunity is more for beggars who eat from the dustbins. It is their blood which is very immune. I mean, we have been, I mean, this is another topic. I mean, our agriculture, the chemicals and the fertilizers that we use in the agriculture, they're killing all the actual B12. That B12 does not grow in plants, and it does not grow in animals as well. People say that if you eat chicken liver, you get B12. No, animals and plants do not give you B12. The mud, we play in the mud, right? The mud that we eat, it comes to us it goes inside us. That is where B12 is. And the whole Western world, trust me, I'm so ashamed. Before this talk at 11 o'clock, as in British time, I went, took my B12 injection and came here. We are just killing the ecosystem of natural food, and then we want good health. Where does the good health come from, guys?
Yeah. So you mean to say when you were acting on your primal instinct,
Yeah.
looking out for sleep, hunger, etc.
Yeah.
So after all that happened, after you acted on your, after you were habituated to acting on your primal instincts, what was it like coming back into the normal life, coming back into society and into a social construct? Did it make any sense?
It was very stupid for me. I mean, after that, I came during the New Year's time. Okay. And then at that time, I had a girlfriend who was into a lot of dancing, partying, and drinking and all, which I don't appreciate. But then we met for wrong reasons, and it was only for physical reasons that we met, and then it continued. So she took me to a pub, and then I was like, I come now from 40 days of my mind goes back 10,000 years ago, and then suddenly it comes to a pub. So what is happening here? Okay. Food comes to you I mean, do you remember that last scene in the movie Castaway, when Tom Hanks goes into this big party where there's food across the table, and then there's a lighter and there's all kinds of dishes? It was that kind of a surreal moment for me. I mean, what is this? Where is this crowd going? Okay, so I mean, your question led me to another thing. We kind of think that we humans are very smart, and then we want to enjoy so many things at a time. So can you enjoy eating food? Yes or no?
I think I can. Yeah.
Yeah, we enjoy eating food, right? So do we need our nervous system to enjoy food?
We do.
Yeah. Okay. How many nervous systems do we have?
One.
One. Okay. Do we like watching movie? Do we need a nervous system for that?
First, we do.
Okay. So now we are so bad at mathematics that we forget that 1 plus 1 is 2 and 1 minus 1 is 0. When I say that, what I mean is, so I want to enjoy the movie, and at the same I want to eat. Okay. Thinking that I will enjoy the movie, adding to that is my enjoyment of eating the popcorn. No, my dear friends, it does not add up. I mean, whatever the enjoyment you're getting is just being split. It is just being split, because for you to enjoy, you need all your senses. You need this nervous system. The nervous system is one neuron. The message passes to other neuron. By the time, because the movie itself is giving you so many information and senses. It's giving you music. It's giving SFX. It's giving you the sounds of the rain. It's giving you the dialogue. It's giving you so much The sounds and the pictures are so strong. How can we eat? You can eat, but you're not multiplying or enhancing your enjoyment. You're actually splitting your enjoyment. That's it. So we have to get back to basics. I mean, why do people say when you're eating in India, don't talk? But most now, where have we come? We've come to, we go to restaurants only to talk. I mean, even if the food is tasty, we are unconsciously doing things. So get back to basics. Stop trying to learn. Unlearn, guys, unlearn. That's my final secret for success. To cut down your age. I mean, whatever we have learned, my dear friends, so much of this is bullshit. So start asking questions. Stop learning, start unlearning.
All right. That was a pleasure listening to you speak for so long, Subbu. Thank you very much for telling us the stories of your beautiful life-changing adventures, especially during times when none of us can move out. It is stories like these that let us harbor a hope that things are going to get better and we are all going to get a chance to have wonderful experiences like you had the opportunity to have in your life. Subbu, thank you for taking out time to share with us. We thank all the participants for attending today's Design Stories webinar with ADI Hyderabad, and we hope you had some interesting takeaways from this session. For access to a year-long engagement of more such invigorating talks, webinars, and live events about the various facets of design and other fields that are ancillary to design, please become a member of ADI. If you're not a member yet, do visit our website www.adi.org.in and become a member today. Our student membership costs just rupees 500. In case you want to interact with Subbu, you can ask us the email ID on one of the WhatsApp groups, on the ADI WhatsApp groups. He'll be more than happy to connect with you. And please do check out Subbu's book, Us on the Highway. It is available on Amazon and it's been published by Patridge Publications. So until the next edition of Design Stories, goodbye and stay safe. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you guys for having me on the show, and really appreciate all your efforts for the team ADI and the participants for listening to me rant for almost an hour. And I hope I delivered some value. And finally, what I would say is, my advice is do not listen to anybody's advice, including mine. Just start figuring out what do you want. Okay. And if I could travel the entire country without money, you staying at home, is that difficult, guys?